Alright, what's up y'all, LakerFan here. As you can see by the title of today's video, we have the #1 pure slasher build in NBA 2K26. So, here we are on embargo day 2. All the builder stuff, everything like that dropping. I don't know when I'm posting this video technically, and also, shout out to 2K for flying me out for the community day, getting the early access content like this, but I don't know when I'm going to be dropping this video. I think what I want to do is drop the animation videos and stuff first, so you should be seeing that, and this might be later on in the day. However, point being is, the builder is very similar this year. Now, with that in mind, that the builder is very similar, what I wanted to do in this year's community day kind of process is I wanted to look into the animations first. I wanted to look into the dribble styles that I thought were necessary, the floaters, the dunks, all types of stuff like that. Everything that would need to be known pretty much as far as the knowledge for the builds of what kind of gets propped up. Like the fact that you guys are going to see a lot of builds that I create are going to have 75 speed of ball or higher. There's a dribble style, Zach LaVine, it's a banger. It is an absolute game changer. And for these wing builds, you need to achieve something like that. So if I were to have hopped in this builder and made a 6'9" as my slasher build, found out then after when I was testing animations later that I couldn't even get Zach LaVine, then I would have had a much more trash build, if you ask me. So it was major important, in my opinion, to check the animations and stuff like that first, know everything I needed to know as far as the dribble styles and whatnot to decide what would be the best builds. Like for instance, that you will see a 6'10", a footer, stuff like that later, that a lot of that is still being factored in my opinion, all those animations that are king, if you ask me. So here we are though with the slasher build. As you can see, really high dunk, 96 driving dunk. Let me actually pull up the badges and stuff too. We kind of forgot to do that sometimes here. So anyway, what I really am going to do is just reset the build so you can actually see the tethers and like the ratings that go up with it and stuff. And if you want to see the final product, you can just stick around for a couple seconds here and we'll have it. But 80 driving layup. When I get the strength up, eventually it will get the physical finisher and stuff like that, obviously. I was just, essentially, what I did was I took a picture on my phone and just got an actual like screenshot of the build, essentially, and then just repieced it all together so you could see the attributes go up, but I obviously would then be able to put it together quickly. So, as you can see, 85 per MD. It's not quite as defensive as I usually make my kind of finisher builds, if you will, or like the, you know, slashing defenders, essentially. But that's a lot because I have a lot more invested in the ball handle, and you will see why when we get into the animations pretty soon. There are some banger animations as far as the slasher stuff goes, in my opinion, this year's game, and you can't really skip out on them too much. I will say though, there's a Scottie Pippen behind the back that I believe might be a little bit cheaper as far as the requirements, and it's still pretty good. But you can see this Devin Booker behind the back that I have, as well as the fact that this Bam Adebayo floater is so crazy, bro. If you guys haven't checked out the other videos that I'll be dropping in today's sequence, or maybe it was yesterday, I don't know when I'm going to post this video technically, to be fair. So if you haven't seen the floater video, you haven't seen the dribble styles and stuff like that, definitely check it out firsthand and see your options and stuff like that, because there are a lot of good ones, but I'm gonna be rocking some of my favorites in this build, its specific way of being built. So I'm also showing the takeovers because I wasn't quite sure how these worked, to be fair. I thought we were gonna be able to customize these or something like that, but I don't even know, to be honest with you, how that takeover stuff's going down. I could have sworn people were talking about we could put custom attribute slots and stuff like that. But when we got in here and I started asking other people at the community day about it, they didn't think it looked like it at all. And it doesn't look like it either to me, but I don't know. Maybe if you guys see other videos and you can clarify that to me, feel free to as well. But as you can see, we have a lot of like poster machine takeovers, as well as Crasher is, if I believe I have read this correctly when I was looking at it, I believe it is rebounding take as well as brick wall take. So if you read it down here, improves box out success to secure more rebounds, unleash effective and powerful screens that can catch unsuspecting defenders off guard. So I guess it's maybe not as much see the future as it is like box out beast and maybe better chances at worms and stuff like that, as well as brick wall. So there's gonna be a lot of different options when it comes to stuff like this between the Crasher, poster machine, all types of stuff like that. I'm also not really sure they have a see the future takeover anymore. I think that might be the only rebounding take there is. So I guess essentially it's just rebounding take, and like, you know, there really isn't much other option as far as that goes. 2K Labs, and might as well plug the freaking promo right now, but real quick before I do, 2K Labs will have the takeovers listed when embargo drops, as well as they'll have the badge max +1 tiers and all that stuff. So I'll be checking those out too and probably make content out of that. But hey, like I said, shout out to 2K Labs. Let's play the plug right now. Also, in case you guys didn't know, I'm teaming up with NBA 2K Lab again this year, and like always, they have the best statistical jump shots on their website, put a ton of time into the labbing of those, and on top of that, have exact visual cues now for those jump shots they recommend to you. So first, they find the exact best jump shots and put them into the data that you can use if you buy the premium. Then, on top of that too, they have the ability to even just practice the jump shot if you don't want to sit in the my court, wait for a ball return, or for that matter, even have to track down your own ball. And if you're not someone that wants to use the most meta jump shot of like the best screen window and the absolute fastest, what you can do is plug your controller into your PC and shoot 10 shots of what feels comfortable to you, and they'll recommend you one of the jump shots that they've created as well. And again, this is a huge feature right here, the ability to take one of the custom jump shots they've recommended to you and find the exact release point of it and know exactly when to let go of your button on the controller or when to let go of the ball in your player's hands, obviously. And on top of that too, even do motion style tests, and they've got rankings of a ton of dribble moves. So if you want to check this out, like I said, go to NBA2KLab.com or the link in my description and put code LAKER for your promo code. This is going to save you about $1 per month or up to $2 depending on what length of subscription you decide to get. So when you come over to the website, you can hit the sign up tab, come over to the length of subscription you'd like to sign up for, and then hit register. And then when you do hit register, it'll create a coupon code, and you just are going to put in code LAKER right here if you'd like to as well. Now you guys absolutely feel free to sign up for whatever length of subscription you would like to do, but if you want to help me out, I make a percentage based off of the initial subscription price that you pay. So for instance, if you were to get the monthly, I'd only make a percentage off the $7.99, but if you were to do the yearly, I'd make the percentage off of that. So again, feel free to do whatever you'd like to. I don't want to pressure you any which way, but if you want to help me out just in specific, I'd really appreciate that as well. So I hope y'all enjoying the video. Let's get right back to it, but one last time, if you want to subscribe to the NBA 2K Lab Premium, just use code LAKER at checkout for 20% off. Anyway, that's all. Let's get back to the video now. Anyway, who knows? Probably not the best video to play that on, considering we're talking about a pure slasher right now, and then the promo's talking about jump shots. But hey, I do want to put that out there for you guys who are interested in that, because not everybody's going to be a pure slasher, I'm sure. Like, it's not a very popular style. However, I will say, I am a huge believer that it can work this year, especially with these undersized ones. In last year's game, not only was there terrible floater options as far as the wings go, and then on top of that, they were just bad in general on the game, and then B, the dribble styles were terrible for the wings as well, and that's not the case anymore. I really think Zach LaVine might be one of the best in the game, period. Forget like the small guards and just like the fact that it's good value at 75 for the wings. I think it really just might be one of the better ones anyway, as is. But anyway, the build gets really good physicals, as you can see. 86 speed at 6'8" while having enough strength to have the gold brick wall is major key. 85 vert paired with 96 driving dunk is good for Hoff poster, as well as a lot of good contact dunk animations and stuff like that as well. And then 80 agility. You don't really necessarily need the 80 agility, because obviously you need like a 92 Prim D to end up getting the badges that correlate with it, but just wanted it for the sake of moving good on defense, and just like, you know, the fact that physicals are very hard to attain and they can't be got through any of the takeovers or anything like that either. So they're really important, and I just wanted to kind of max out on those anyway. But anyway, as you can see, 75 pass act, not the greatest. Obviously, I usually prefer to have higher than this on my like slashers and stuff too. But again, you gotta kind of just pick and choose where you want to put the ratings. Now, if you want to talk like where do we put the cap breakers and stuff like that eventually, to be fair, I maybe would retool this build a little bit different to where you have just a little bit more vertical or something like that. Like, let's say if you were to go with a long-term play of +3 dunk to 99 and then eventually get your vertical to 90, that would give you legend poster naturally. And what you could do is maybe just take down something like D-board a little bit and then put it into vertical because it's cheaper, and get the vert to at least the point of like 88, so that when you eventually put +3 dunk, you could just put +2 vertical as well. It's like a cheap way to get it done, and I think that would be the best type of attributes to put your cap breakers on for a build like this. But again, point is that obviously it can't shoot, but with the floater range that you have with that BAM floater that we'll get to in just a second here, as well as the threat you are of just a finisher in general, and the value you bring to the court as a screener with the brick wall and speed, the lob catching, all types of stuff like that, the very solid offensive rebounding even still, and then, you know, it's still decent defensive rebound too. I would like to think the defensive role of this build should be a primary on-ball defender, but I really think this could kind of just play anywhere, to be real with you. I mean, it's rangy, it's fast, it's high strength, good vert. It could crash off the corner if it really needs to. It could play back end if it needs to, too. Solid interior D while being pretty decently, you know, height. at the same time too. Decent block. It's nothing crazy, obviously. I think it's more meant to be a park build, and in Pro-Am and like rec and stuff like that, it would obviously struggle a little bit, but I know a lot of you guys who are like in the niche community that follow me that have used this type of build in the past can really still use it even when you're in the random rec and stuff like that too. I know the normies and stuff like that, the common people of the 2K community are gonna hate me promoting this to like any of you guys out there to play with in the rec, but I just know there's some people who follow me that can get it done with a build like this and put up monster numbers, just like what I can obviously do as well on this, in my humble opinion. But anyway, as far as the max +1s and +2s, I'd like to think that Brick Wall tier 2 is looking really good for this build in specific. Lightning Launch is a cool kind of fun thing as well. Maybe a movable enforcer as another option, but I'd like to think Lightning Launch and Brick Wall are probably my biggest, like, kind of what I'm digging right now, I guess is what I'm getting at. As far as the tier 1, I mean, it's obvious. For the +1, it feels like Posterizer, right? Besides that, I guess you could say Rebound Chaser, most likely. But yeah, I'd have to say those are definitely my top candidates right now. Poster and Rebound Chaser in the tier 1, and then for the tier 2, probably Brick Wall and Lightning Launch definitely is what I'm looking at. And then who knows, maybe the layup stuff will be kind of cool too. Like we really might just end up kind of diving into the layup stuff a little bit more. So the build name is Two-Way Bulldozing Putback Pro. That is a mouthful right there for sure. I'm not sure how much I like it or not, to be honest with you, but hey, it is what it is. Anyway, Zach LaVine dribble style only requires a 75 speed ball. D-book behind the back is exactly 85 ball handle, is why we have it. Again, there might be a couple decent other options that we could get at, and I didn't lab the entire extensive, like, you know, SIGs and stuff like that. I did not have time to look into every single thing. I just know for a fact that I got to the things that I really wanted the most. I need a good behind the back to flip my ball hand. If a defender is cutting me off when I'm driving left, I want to be able to move back to the right quickly. If a defender is, let's say, sagging off, I want to have a good floater to be able to go to, and that Bam Adebayo is absolutely getting the job done in terms of the floater threat. And like, I just cannot wait for y'all to see this combo that we got right here. And then again, Zach LaVine dribble style, just making you move fast in general. So all things considered, it checks a lot of bases. I'm just telling y'all that right now. So as you can see, I'm just showing a little bit of like the dribbling stuff, and as you can see, bro, I mean, come on, like, are we for real? we're talking double behind the backs, looking so disgusting, and like, I mean, we're talking, we got the stationary behind the back, which, by the way, some of your behind the back animations do influence this. Like Pro, for instance, does not give quite as good of a stationary behind the back. Tatum was really good, but it turns out Tatum can no longer be got on 610 pluses. So when it comes to the point center build that we're going to drop probably like right after this, to be honest, I'm going to need to kind of lab a little bit more, ideally. The Pro behind the back is still good, and it's really good at like doing this right here. Like I was saying, like if a defender is on my right and they were cutting off this drive to this right side of the court right here, the behind the back is a key to flipping that ball hand while also still moving downhill to keep putting the threat of your drive on your defender. So all things considered, this alone is just so good. And again, if they're sagging off, boom, hit them with one of these, bam, floater. Now that wasn't the max range I could get by any means. 16 feet and like 10 inches is nothing compared to the bam max range. And as you can see, I accidentally screw up the floater right there too, but hey, what can you do? Anyway, and as you can see, I'm still not doing it from as far range as I could. Let me find you a better one that I'm actually like getting some of that stuff. And actually, before I do that, let's show you the dribble style, because that is actually what we're getting at right here. So the cross launch that you see with the LaVine was pretty solid right there, and the ball hand run definitely decent too. I'm kind of doing it more lateral, so it doesn't look quite as good, but when you go downhill with this thing, it's still plenty good. And again, that cross launch off the LaVine, absolutely cooking for sure. I think this is by far the best value dribble style there is, and just in general, I feel like it goes deeper than that as well, bro. It really is just one of the better ones in general. Now, obviously, I only have 75 speed of ball and silver lightning launch, so if you were to put this type of a dribble style on a guard that has like legend, I feel like it really would just be moving just as fast as Curry, as Shea, all the best ones. All right, so check this out. I don't want to like spam this type of stuff in the build videos too much, because I do still want you guys at the end of the day to watch the other videos that I kind of made with a purpose to actually show off animations like this and put people on to what they should be running for the best floaters, the best dribble styles, stuff like that. But you gotta see the value of this exact floater with Bam right here. Now, hold on. before we give away too much right there, and I'm not gonna lie, we probably already did, but just I want you to envision that, like, where this ball boy is standing right now. Like, imagine if he was a defender and was just standing right here, right? He's like, oh, that's LakerFan. He can't shoot. He can't do anything besides get to the hoop, right? And it's like ones or something like that. Because in twos, I would maybe even still have like another threat, or in threes, fives, I would have like a guard with me that I can put in the pick and roll and just utilize my speed and pick and roll ability and stuff like that, and more IQ things, you know, like reading the screen, slips, stuff like that. Just in general, being a good screener. Point being, though, if you're in an ISO situation, because that's what this build is like, it's primary or secondary role can be, whether that's like you like to be that over a pick and roller, or if you like to be a pick and roller over the ISO guy. Either way you slice it, you got to be able to do both, I think, in my opinion, at least, or you like should be able to do both. Anyway, let's just imagine the defender sit in paint, right? I can't shoot. Well, too bad for you. I'm shooting from 20, my man. From 20 feet with 0 mid-range and 0 three-pointer. We're back, baby. We are so back with that Sabonis-looking floater. Now, there is a good Sabonis floater if you happen to be 6'10 plus, but you even still could use BAM if you'd like to as well. So this correlates to every slasher in the game unless you're below 6'4". Like, if you're 6'4 or below, you can't run BAM, but there's still a couple decent ones like Ja, for instance. But again, feel free to check out those videos if you really want to get the intel. But man, I mean, for real, like, can you really beat it? Can you really do much better than that? I don't know, man. But I did still want to show you guys that, like, crazy sequence again. This is like the best look I got at it. So essentially what you want to do this is you're going to do a dribble move first, then do the, like, behind the back mechanic while moving your left stick down toward, like, your offhand right here, right? And it'll do that big behind the back now. Last year you had to, like, double flick it. It's not that anymore. You have to do a dribble move first and then do just the behind the back and the and honestly, I think you might even just be able to do this without doing the dribble move first, actually, come to think of it. But anyway, point being, you got to just flick down diagonal to the right and also hold your left stick down diagonal to the right after, pretty much directly after. And then do that, and then the beauty of this, right, is that some behind the backs don't allow you to transition straight into, like, the actual downhill one. But now you can see you can just get straight into that and then boom, pull the floater from there. Now, the other crazy thing, let me see if I can find it. I'll make a cut and come back to this real quick. Okay, sure, we found it. This should work well enough as a demonstration. I just want you to know you can spam it even harder than what I'm doing right here. But as you can see, we're going, like, dribble move into this actual downhill behind the back. So this is kind of special, right? Because I guess, like, what I was doing in the other ones was doing the big behind the back, then into the real downhill one. But instead, it's downhill one first, and then you can just literally, by hitting another behind the back, get right into that stationary one again. I'm not gonna lie, fellas, like, I'm obviously a kind of a novice when it comes to dribbling. I like to have, like, a basic repertoire that I kind of use and just, like, make it simple on myself. But bro, when someone like Steezo gets his hands on this game, it's about to be crazy. It's got to be so insane. Because, like, even just when my bot self can be doing some glitchy, stupid stuff like this, I can only imagine what people who actually, like, are so insanely skilled with this type of stuff could do. But again, I'm intrigued. I'm very, very intrigued by the type of dribbling that we can already do, with the fact that I only found, like, maybe 2 SIGs that I like. And it's not even that I was searching for some already and didn't find anything that I like. It's more so I only searched for, like, a couple things and found a whole lot of things that I did like. So I don't know. The dribbling's gonna be really good, and I feel like it's even more so the slasher dribbling is feeling really good. The ability to get downhill quickly and aggressively is so elite. And on top of that, we have the ability to finish however we want. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it looks like we're eating this year. That's all I can say. So anyway, soft video. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, stuff, and new on noties. All good stuff. Like always, try to want to do 1,000 likes or 2,000 likes. And if you made it to the end of the video, put slash or put 68 in the comments. Search what you made it through. Again, stay tuned for more of the build videos. I think a lot of what I'm doing, like I just told y'all, is going to be very based on what animations that you can get for a lot of things. So, like, even if you see the power forwards and the locks and stuff like that, you'll understand later that the tether is very interestingly different. And it makes sense, in my opinion, on a lot of these builds to try and get this Zach LaVine dribble style. And you're going to see it a lot on a lot of my builds. So just understand that pretty much a lot of these build videos are things you've already seen before in previous 2Ks, but they're kind of reutilized in terms of, like, being able to access a lot of the animations that are king in this game. So I just want that to be known. A lot of the things that you see are going to be very similar, like just on paper, but it's with the intention of being able to actually get like the goated stuff for all the SIGs. So anyway, soft video. Hope y'all enjoyed. Stay tuned for that point center one coming next. We got like a 6'11 Giannis. We got 7'7" Pro-Am center, Pro-Am power forward, Pro-Am lockdown, a sharp lock that I'm even planning to play with on Pro-Am with my own team. Point guard, shooting guard, all types of stuff, bro. It's loaded for sure, and just like a short lock as well. But anyway, soft video. Hope you all enjoyed. And that takes man. Peace.